At no point in the gym should you ever be doing more than two exercises for one muscle. Now, let me explain why. So, a lot of people, especially newer lifters, but even some intermediate or advanced lifters, will do three, four, five, six, seven, 28 different bicep exercises, 38 different chest exercises. And it's just completely redundant and inefficient. And I know at the end of the day, you want to maximize your results. That's why you're trying so hard. That's why you're going on the dark web to find the secret chest exercise that no one else has heard of, that Sebum's secretly been doing but hasn't told anyone. And you flew a drone over top of his lifting facility and you found it. Look, there are three ways to train a muscle. Number one, where it is the most difficult in lengthened position, we'll go with the biceps, for example, which would be a seated dumbbell curl. The exercise is the most difficult when the bicep is the longest. You will fail this exercise in the lengthened position. Now, you will still be doing a full range of motion. Don't get this, when people say lengthened position, shortened position, they mean that's where you would be failing, where it's the most difficult. So, when I say lengthened position, I don't mean that you're only doing that range of motion. I mean, that's where it's the most difficult. The shortened position with the biceps would be something like a cable curl. Well, there's not that much tension here, but when you get closer to your head, there's a lot more tension. And then a static hold, which is pretty self-explanatory. You just hold something statically, and the length of your muscle does not change. Now, static holds are kind of irrelevant when it comes to bodybuilding and building muscle. They can build muscle, super inefficient, super inefficient. Should be good for ligament and joint health, depending on how much weight you're using, but I wouldn't really worry about static. It is lengthened and shortened. That's about it. Now, for muscles that are pretty simple, the quads, the biceps, the triceps, stuff that's not, the shoulders are a bit complex. You've got a bunch of different movements in all the different planes. The shoulders, you could make an argument that you would need three, four, five exercises potentially. I get it. And if you categorize the back as one muscle, which, I mean, it's just elementary school understanding of lifting, then yeah, if you're going to count the back as one muscle, then yeah, you probably will need five different exercises. But I'm giving an example of the chest, of the quads, of the glutes, of the hamstrings, of the calves. You will see men with the chest do 8 different chest exercises. I need to do a cable crossover for the low pec, and then I need to do a bench press, and then I need to do dumbbells, and then I need to hit the upper pec with 4 different things as well. It's like, dude, you need 2 exercises. And it really doesn't matter if it's a barbell, if it's a dumbbell, if it's a Smith machine, if it's the cables, if it's a plate-loaded machine. Either you're training in the lengthened position or you're training in the shortened position, and then for the pec, you have the upper and the lower. And it's not as simple as turn off, turn on. A incline press will bias the upper pec, but the lower pec will still be engaged, and a flat bench press or a decline bench press will still hit the upper pec, but it'll be biased towards the lower pec. So the chest has some, interesting factors. Same thing with the glutes. So 2 exercises make sense. Maybe 3. Maybe I could get behind 3. But 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it's just redundant when you do a flat dumbbell press, a barbell dumbbell press, a Smith machine dumbbell press, or not Smith machine dumbbell press, but a Smith machine press, and then you go over to a plate loaded machine, and then you do another flat press. What is going on? And you might say, I'm just trying to maximize my gains. Well, you're doing a bunch of junk volume. Lifting is not about building capacity. This isn't a cardiovascular sport. This is lift intensely for 2 to 5 sets, ballpark. Some guys like Mike Mentzer will say 1 set. I wouldn't go that far. I would say 2 to 5, maybe 6. Some of these guys are doing 6 different exercises, 4 by 6. And when I say 6, I don't mean 6 reps. They're doing a 4 by 10 on 6 different exercises. It's like, dude, are you getting ready to run a marathon with your chest? I mean, what's going on? Like, are you confusing the muscle? I mean, it's cool that your chest now has capacity to do every chest exercise ever found on Google. It's not building your chest. If you're able to complete 25 sets for chest in one workout, over a week, that's a little bit different. And I would still say it's pushing it. But if you're a natural lifter and you're doing 25 sets of one muscle group in a workout, what was happening on sets 1 through 24, and even set 25 was probably half-assed. I mean, it's just not possible to give a great effort on 25 sets of exercise. I mean, you probably gained and lost the pump 3 times during that time span. It's going to take you over an hour of chest, like an hour of chest, and don't even get me started on smaller muscles like the biceps, like the calves, like the glutes. Men are bad with the chest and the arms, but I mean, some women, I've never even seen some of these glute exercises. They'll do 12 different just a glute day, upper glute day, an upper glute day with high vol. Like, I mean, the amount of specificity some people are getting into is just absolutely absurd, completely unnecessary. And it's just redundant. It's redundant. You were being number one. You were getting worse results. It's not that you're getting better results, but it's less efficient. That's one thing. So if 10 exercises build you 20 pounds of muscle, but 2 exercises build you 5 pounds of muscle, the 2 exercises are more efficient. But that's not even the case. The fact that you were doing 6 different exercises, I would argue that you're building less muscle than the guy that has 1 or 2 maximal, that is going all out. I think he is spending less time, he's not horsing around, and he's building more muscle because intensity is key. Simplicity, you need to get in a rhythm. When you're doing all these different exercises, and the people that are doing that are always switching up the exercises, you need to find exercises that feel good for you. I don't really care what it is. If you don't like barbell squatting, leg press, or hack squat, or maybe even leg extend if you can't do any of those, but find a smooth movement for yourself that feels good and go all out. You don't need to be bouncing around the gym, supersetting 8 different things. I mean, we're not cardio athletes.